Hi you guys, welcome back. So we're back talking about this caucus kickout fallout and what Tiffany Henyard is planning to do after the results. So being Tiffany Henyard, she's doing what?
I'm pressing charges on everybody.
She wants to sue, naturally, okay? So she went ahead and she filed a lawsuit, but there's a problem with the lawsuit. But you guys, really quick, if you're a returning supporter, please remember to hit that like button. And if you're new here and like what you hear, go ahead and hit that like button too. So let's get back to this lawsuit that Tiffany is filing. And I got this courtesy of Hannibal is Hungry channel. He has a lawsuit up on his channel if you guys want to take a look at that video. Tiffany Henyard named Fitzgerald Roberts as one of the plaintiffs, and he is the mayor of the village of Dixmoor. And so Dixmoor is only 10 minutes away from the village of Dolton, and that's where Tiffany serves as mayor. So Tiffany is suing Napoleon Harris and the Democratic Party for like unfairness of the caucus and all that good stuff. And so like I said, Fitzgerald Roberts, the mayor of Dixmoor, is added onto this lawsuit as well. So it's now coming to light that Fitzgerald Roberts was not on board with this lawsuit. So I'm going to read a bit of this article from Fox 32 Chicago regarding what the mayor of Dixmoor had to say about this lawsuit. Dixmoor Village President Fitzgerald Roberts says the addition of his name to a lawsuit Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard has filed against State Senator Napoleon Harris is the result of a misunderstanding. Imagine that. But let's move on. First and foremost, my understanding of the conversation I had with Supervisor Henyard was vastly different than her understanding, Roberts said. I want to make it clear that I was not aware of any lawsuits filed on my behalf. I have not authorized or initiated any legal action, nor was I consulted about any such filings. I appreciate the work Supervisor Henyard and Senator Harris has done for Dixmoor. My focus is on the village of Dixmoor and helping the residents here. I have no desire to be a part of this lawsuit. And then it goes on to say, Robert is looking at all legal options to be removed from the lawsuit. So it looks like either Tiffany Henyard just took something he might have said in the conversation and ran with it and then put this man's name in the lawsuit. Or it could be, and this is just my hypothetical, I'm just, shooting stuff in the air.
Believe me, this is so hypothetical.
It could be that Roberts and Henyard had a conversation and he agreed that it wasn't right. So she went ahead and took that as a yes, he wanted to be added to the lawsuit. Honestly, I really don't see the mayor of Dixmoor just getting himself involved in this random lawsuit on Tiffany Henyard's behalf, okay? I just don't see it happening, honestly. I feel like she lives in her own reality, and I think we all know that because she's displayed this over and over again by the way she acts and the way she contradicts herself multiple times. I think she took it, ran with it, and twisted it in a way that he was on her team, that he was Team Tiffany, okay? That's how I think it happened. But then there's also been speculation that she's getting kicked out of the Democratic Party, period, because she openly sided with Donald Trump, okay? And one of my commenters actually brought up the idea that Tiffany Henyard was actually getting kicked out of the Democratic Party. So she left me a comment, and I'm not even going to try to attempt to pronounce her name. I'm sorry. I don't want to butcher it. But this is what she said. First, she started off by saying, I swear I will start summarizing my points, I promise, because she tends to leave long comments, which I don't mind. That just tells me that you really thought about what you said and you enjoyed the video as well. So this is what she said. This was Tiffany's plan from the beginning, and she's talking about the caucus and how it went down. There are videos from other content creators showing her inside the hall before everything began. She knew very well she wouldn't qualify because she lacked a full slate. Which is funny because during all the cries of the voter suppression, locking people out, and all these other things that Tiffany is saying to the media, we never hear her talk about, oh, I had a full slate and this is who was on my slate, right? She never says any of those things. Let's continue. She knew the requirements but chose to ignore them. Imagine that, Tiffany Henyard ignoring something. Even her former BFS, Mr. Thief Freeman, and she's talking about Keith Freeman, who is still the village administrator over there in Dolton. Thief Freeman admitted that Tiffany rarely reads and responds to emails. Well, this is nothing new because we also heard her former chief of staff, Nikita Cloud, also say the same thing.
Now, let me tell y'all something. Have y'all ever emailed Tiffany? Because, she has never, since she's been the mayor, responded herself to an email. Ever. She didn't even have access because she says she don't like responding to emails.
This comes across as pure laziness to me. It seems she believes she could avoid the paperwork and still become a supervisor nominee/candidate. It seems her strategy, along with her supporters, all 8 of them, was to bring elderly individuals and use them as voter suppression tactic, framing the situation to make it look as though those inside intentionally left elderly people out in the cold. So once again, that is one thing that Tiffany continuously harped on through all her interviews with the news. They were leaving all the elderly people out there in the freezing cold. And then she had like one elderly woman on her interview, I think a couple of them, but it was the same person. And, she was saying, yeah, they left people out there in those chairs with wheels.
It saddens my heart to see such inhumane done to our seniors who stayed outside in the cold for hours.
There were so many people lined up outside, and it was so cold. That's the only thing that I really took note of, because they wanted to vote. They took their time to come out. We had people out there that were on oxygen masks, pushing those chairs with the wheels on it.
Which I think she meant wheelchairs is what she was trying to say. But at the same time, Tiffany conveniently forgets about all those Dolton residents and senior citizens that she continuously left outside the village hall waiting on the meetings to start. She didn't care how hot it was. She didn't care if people were on crutches or things like that. No, everyone needed to wait for Queen Tiffany to show up late as usual. All right, let's continue. She then goes on to say, Tiffany deliberately arranged for the elderly to arrive late, giving her time to stage photos and videos outside with them. This, in my opinion, is elder abuse. Yes, having those senior citizens stay outside just so she can get some photo ops with them, I agree. She made them stand in the cold just to boost her chance of getting on the ballot. If that were my grandmother, I'd never allow her to be exploited like this. It's yet another example of Tiffany's lack of empathy and respect, using people for her personal and political gain in exchange for trivial rewards like bingo prizes for the elders. So you guys, if you don't know, there is a big controversy about Tiffany Henyard giving out all these extravagant prizes for her big bingo events that she holds for the senior citizens. And the problem with it is she's not giving out prizes like a toaster or something like that. She's giving out washers, dryers, refrigerators, freezers.
Including the big bingo. I can't stress big bingo enough, man. Everybody be down here. There's over 500 people that come down here and be a part of that movement. People win air fryers, Keurigs, they want TVs, refrigerators, stoves, what else they want? Washer, dryers, you name it. It was down here.
The list goes on. All right, let's get back to this comment. Tiffany won't sue because firstly, she can't afford any more lawyers now, and secondly, she knows she would lose by a landslide. She's already stolen millions of dollars from taxpayers. So this comment was made before the announcement that Tiffany made about her suing, of course. So she didn't know at the time. That's why that's in there. Instead, she relies on the fake press releases to sway public opinion, avoiding legitimate legal proceedings. This is blatant grandstanding at its finest. Oh yes, the grandstanding, okay? Because we know by now Tiffany Henyard is the queen of grandstanding, even though she accuses everybody and their mama of doing it, all right? She knew she didn't qualify, yet she continues to push her narrative because she's been enabled for years to operate unchecked. Thanks to both Governor Pritzker and Kwame Raoul, who excels at issuing public statements, both have consistently failed to support their voters in meaningful ways. I believe Mr. Harris, and she means Senator Napoleon Harris, was sent under Governor Pritzker's orders to remove Tiffany Henyard. Why? Because she has proven herself disloyal to the Democratic Party. So, but politics is much like gangs, okay? And don't you dare go on social media talking about you with the other gang, all right? Let's get back to this. On multiple occasions, she publicly congratulated Donald Trump, the party's chief advisory, starting with a Facebook post and continuing to show her alignment to Trump ever since.
Hey guys, it's your Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard, the People's Supervisor / Mayor. Today is election day. I hope you guys are super duper excited because today we get to find out who will be our president. So I pray that it will be, you know me, I'm all with the women's movement, Miss Harris.
Miss Harris.
So yeah, that's Tiffany Henyard. First, saying she's with Kamala Harris, and then next she's up there supporting Donald Trump. Whatever party you're with, you don't go up on social media one week and say, oh, you're with this one, and then go another week and say you're with the other. That's a good way to show people how disloyal you are and how quick you would be to switch up on them as well. So then my commenter summed it up really nice like this. Politics is a ruthless game, and when you repeatedly disrespect the people who helped you rise to power, you're quickly cast out. Had she demonstrated more loyalty to the party, they likely wouldn't have taken such drastic measures against her. Tiffany might have remained on the ballot if she had simply stayed quiet and avoided praising the leader of the opposition. So, thank the good Lord for her big illiterate mouth. Tiffany Henyard has no political prowess whatsoever. Let's be clear, they're not doing this out of concern for the residents. They felt betrayed by one of their own, so they're kicking their puppet out. That's it, nothing more, nothing less. So this was well said by, the commenter. She put a lot of great points in this. Let me know what you guys think about this comment. What do you guys agree with that was said here? I do agree, and I didn't see it like that until she mentioned it, that they're probably kicking her out. That they're like, okay, you know what? You went too far. Okay? You're doing too much. You think you're untouchable. So I think they're teaching her a lesson, We'll see if it actually holds. If they're able to really kick her out, and get her out of there, get her out of Thornton Township, get her out of Dolton, because that's, from what I hear, that's what the majority of the residents want. You always hear people talking about how non-transparent she is. And that's what it really comes down to in the greater scheme of things, is that she is not transparent with the financials. And speaking of not being transparent with the financials, something else came out, and the Lansing Journal wrote about this. They wrote about how an audit firm won't endorse Thornton Township financial report. And I'm just going to read a little bit of the article. The accounting firm hired to audit the Thornton Township financial report from the last fiscal year decided not to offer an opinion on whether its numbers added up. The lack of opinion means the firm, John Kasperico, was unwilling to certify the township's report as accurate. So they did not want to put their stamp on those financials because Robert Hunt and Tiffany Henyard and Co. put together a budget. They put in there that Thornton Township, just look at the graphs, you guys. Okay, this is from the budget that they put out, and they were saying that Thornton was in the red and that now it's so high. And this is just a little glimpse of what I'm going to call propaganda that she's showing during one of the meetings to the residents, showing basically the township has been in this large deficit all these years, and now here she comes in as supervisor and saves the day, and now it's all in the green. So some people are alleging that these numbers are not so on point and that the books have been cooked by none other than the finance department, Robert Hunt, CPA, Director of Finance, aka part of the dynamic duo. Okay, Tiffany Henyard, Robert Hunt go way back, all right? They've been plotting and scheming together for their benefit, since way back in Dolton when they were trustees. I'm gonna just play a little clip of when the two of them were scheming to get a contract for Tiffany's baby daddy, okay, for his W&W towing company with the village. And this is someone from a competing towing company mentioning that Tiffany Henyard and Robert Hunt were actually good friends with a tow truck company owner, Early Walker, who ended up being Tiffany's baby daddy later on. Let's watch a little bit of this.
No, that's, yeah. I'd like to ask the trustees if any of you are personal friends with the owner of W&W, because Michael Smith is, and I can prove it. Tiffany, you are. And have you ever been to my business?
Yeah, I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
Thank you. For what reason? Don't say it.
So you gave
Thank
me
you, Mayor.
basically.
You're doing a good job. I say Wes's and Airline do the towing.
You say what?
Wes's and Airline should be doing the towing because you're personal friends with the owner of W&W, and so is Michael Smith.
Just because Michael is don't mean I am.
Just because Michael is, thank you. Have a good night. Thank you, trustees and residents. Just because Michael is. Who is Michael to you?
So, what they got to do with anything?
Thank you, Tiffany.
Okay.
Just because Michael is.
Okay.
Boyfriend.
Can we have order, please? Order.
I just wanted to actually formally introduce myself. My name is Early Walker. I am the owner of W&W Towing.
Just doesn't even make any type of sense to me to go to another company. So that's why I picked W&W Towing.
Fellow elected official from Village of Dixmoor, I want to speak on behalf of W&W Towing. They tow for our village and have done a fantastic job. You guys have hired our ex-police chief, Mobley, who experienced the towing services of W&W. You're talking about giving back to the community. You're talking about events. W&W Towing does that.
You feel strong about airline. I like to see another one. I'm looking at WW Towing. Upcoming strong business, plus they're out here in the south suburb with us. I'd like to see them get opportunity at that.
On the motion to approve the proposal by W&W Towing, motion by Trustee Hunt, second by Trustee Brown. Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
No.
Trustee Stubbs?
Aye.
Trustee Muhammad?
No.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Trustee Henyard?
Aye.
4.
4 ayes, motion carries.
That company, WW, have everything that was required of them.
So as we can see, they've been ride or die since day one. All right. So I would not put it past Robert Hunt to do a little something strange for a little change for Tiffany Henyard. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. That's my opinion. But yeah, let's get back to this article by the Lansing Journal. In a letter contained within the comprehensive annual financial report for fiscal year ending February 29th, 2024, the accounting firm indicated that it did not have enough documentation to confirm the numbers put forth by the township. And they said, "We do not express an opinion on the accompanying financial statements of governmental activities, each major fund, and the aggregate remaining fund information of the township." The letter also states, "We have not been able to obtain significant appropriate audit evidence to provide a basis for an audit opinion on the financial statements." So basically what? They don't have enough proof, enough documentation to support them signing off on this audit in Thornton Township. And this is a big deal, you guys. At least I feel. It means there are things missing, just like a common theme with Tiffany Henyard, right? We have the trustees over in Dolton saying they don't have enough information. They're not getting the information. They can't see the financials. They can't see the credit card reports. And so here we have an auditing firm saying that they are not confident enough to sign off on this audit. They're not going to put their name on the line to fall in line with what Tiffany and Robert and co have done. That's my opinion. That's what I see. What do you guys think about this whole thing? What do you think about the accounting firm being unwilling to certify the township's report as accurate? Sounds like yet another thing to add to the long laundry list of issues and controversies that surround Tiffany Henyard, right? Because every day, everywhere you turn, is something else. Why? Because she just can't sit down. And right now, she's very desperate to keep her position as Thornton Township Supervisor. Not because she wants to be there for the people, okay? In my opinion, it's because she still wants that $200,000 a year salary. And also along with that, if she loses that, her boyfriend will more than likely lose his quote-unquote job, okay, that he's making over $100,000 a year for, to which he has yet to explain what he does in this capacity as what he calls a youth violence prevention. That's what he's doing, but he's not provided any statistics on what he's done to improve the quality of youth there, what violence has been prevented, like where are the numbers? There's nothing like that being presented as far as why he has such a high paying job. And in fact, here's a resident inquiring about Kamal, Tiffany Henyard's boyfriend's job.
Kamal, I would like to know your position. I would like an update, a report, a statistic, a measurable outcome on some of these youth programs that you have. You don't do anything but cause disruption, intimidation, confusion, and I just don't understand what it is you're getting paid to do.
This boyfriend of hers, Kamal Woods, so he never speaks. He's always in the background. And another YouTuber called Cooking with Frank calls him cigarette break because he's always like going out taking cigarette breaks, and that's really what we know him as, is cigarette break, Leotis and all that. But yeah, he never speaks, right? So it was very surprising when he chose to speak up at Tiffany Henyard's little rally that she had 25 people at. And when he chose to speak up and speak out, with such force, it wasn't about his job over there in Thornton Township as like a youth violence prevention program director, manager, whatever it is. He chose to speak up towards a female reporter, Regina Waldrop. Okay, and I'm just going to play a little clip of it because he was very threatening in his manner towards her. And, I don't appreciate it on her behalf. I'm pretty sure as media, they're used to getting heat, so maybe it didn't bother her so much, but that still didn't make it right. Let me go ahead and play this clip of him just acting a hot mess.
When you put it out there on the news, y'all dead wrong. Some of y'all over there that's recording, y'all black. Remember that. Remember you black. It's the first thing you talk. Don't never forget you black.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all are black.
Don't never forget you black. Don't never forget that they took your right to vote that day. You ain't gotta hide. They took your vote. You from Harvey, right? They took your vote too. You know what happened. Tell them the truth. You don't know how it feels to get beat down every day, 365 days out of the year. She go outwork you. She go outwork you. She gonna outwork you. You're gonna keep chasing her. You're gonna keep following the story. You're gonna keep following the story. That's your job. Her job is to take care of the community. It started right here in this room. That's right. In 2021, the dream began to revitalize Dolton. To revitalize Dolton, it started right here, in this room. In this room. You wanna know the real story? Like she said, if you want the tea, get it from me. Get it from her. Go to her. If you're worth talking to, I see you. You looking dead at me. I see you. You part of the problem. You gonna tell the truth, tell the truth. It ain't no guy, it's a lady. You part of the problem. You part of the problem. I'm talking to you.
So yeah, she went ahead and put that up on her Instagram because she wanted to share what happened there, okay? And I personally think it was very distasteful. It was very cowardly because through all this time where you have Tiffany Henyard running her mouth, talking to everybody, while he's always just chilling in the background. I found it funny that when he actually decided to speak up, it was towards a female reporter. Because something else Cooking with Frank also mentioned, which was a good point, as many times as Dane Placco has come there, confronting Tiffany Henyard, being there in the village of Dolton and everything, we've never seen Kamal confront Dane Placco. So why is he all of a sudden speaking up against Regina Waldreth, who is a female reporter. I'm just saying. Sometimes it really shows a person's characteristics and what they're made of, depending on who they decide to confront and who they don't. Well, you guys, that's going to be it for today. Let me know how you guys feel about all these recent developments and not so recent developments. You know, I try to be as up to date as much as I can, and then also mix in a little bit of old news about this Tiffany Henyard scandal for people who might not know the past history of it. I like to do a mix of those just so people can get a better understanding and why a lot of people say Tiffany Henyard is a hypocrite, including myself, because I have seen old footage from Dolton board meetings, and if you've been on my channel long enough, so have you. Once again, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to leave it a like, and if you're new here, subscribe.
Pray that they show up to the board meeting, because right now we don't have insurance. So I hope it don't take that long to have a meeting. I will continue to call special board meetings so that we can clear up our issue.
I couldn't believe I looked at this agenda and saw the word secret squirrel on a freaking, on a professional agenda for a village. If you look on that first page, she has secret squirrel meeting on there. You know what made that necessary? 11 council meetings.
So I hope it don't take that long to have a meeting. I am suing Napoleon Harris. I am suing the caucus. I am pressing charges on the clerk, on Trustee House, Trustee Norwood, Trustee Belcher, and Trustee Tammy Brown. I'm pressing charges on everybody.
Inside I have from the United States District Court, Northern District of Illinois, Hiram Nyson Jr. to you as both personal and in your role as mayor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you much. You deserve it.
Anytime, appreciate it. I get sued all the time. Y'all. Somebody going to jail, just so you clear on that.